Rashford has scored Manchester United's last 8 penalties. And if he was a welcome goal scorer, so too was Anthony Martial, who's clearly been in and out of this United team, particularly this season. And this will do his confidence the world of good too. In fact, what do you think of his overall game?
Good. I think. No, everybody knows he's a talented boy. No, he's not boy, he's a man. But I mean, watch Bruno Fernandes sit in that little pocket there. That's a hard thing to do. Just stand still. Just wait for it. Receive it. Well, perfect pass, weighted ball, and a brilliant finish from Martial. And the thing is with Anthony, you just want to see him be consistent. The talent in there to be a really special player. But the problem is, you think about Garnacho, Martial, they all play off the left team, don't they?
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to need someone to step up and be that centre forward if Højlund doesn't play. Thought today, Anthony Martial had a good game, but it helps, I think, when you have Bruno Fernandes being at that number 10 and just sliding people in all the time. He's brilliant at it. So
it's 15 points from the last 6 games for Manchester United. United keep their decent run going. Let's get the post-match thoughts of their head coach, Erik ten Hag.
Eric, first of all, I think everybody is talking about that goal. I know you were in the stands watching it from a distance. Just talk us through it.
Well, the season is still long, but probably the goal of the season. But also the build-up. It was not only that finish, but also the build-up was very good, about the switch, about dynamic. So we talk about be brave, be dynamic, be proactive, but clear, the finish is fantastic.
So early on in the match as well, we know it was a difficult time. It is a difficult time for Everton. We knew the crowd were going to be supporting their team so loud and proud, but that just seemed to silence and take everybody's breath away.
I said to you before, how we want to play. And in Copenhagen we had the example, and there was another example how this team can play, how you can quieten the crowd, but so make impact on an opponent. And so be brave, be proactive, be dynamic. And that is what we showed in the first couple of minutes in the game.
You've spoken a lot about turning points this season. It's such a big week for Manchester United as well. Do you feel you are now turning that corner as a team? The performance improved, especially in the second half.
Yeah, after that start of the game, we were too easygoing, too comfortable, and I criticized the team in the half-time that they think they're already there. No, you can't do it. Game is 95, longer even. I think 2 times 6 minutes extra time. So you have to bring it in 100 minutes on the pitch, initiative, in and out of possession, everyone. And second half they did very well. And then we had the highest score this season.
Yes, I think it's the highest, isn't it, by more than a single goal this season, this win for Manchester United. So that just goes to show the improved performance that you're getting there.
And also our 3 offensive players scored. And that is very good. That is what we need, that they going and to score and to net, because that will help us as a team. And I said, we need that to get into the season, to be successful. Absolutely, that will give them confidence, and we have to take this into our next game.
I spoke to Bruno about the penalty, him giving the ball to Marcus Rashford. You talk about giving confidence. How much confidence will that give Marcus?
A lot. But you see also how great Captain Bruno is. Feel, assess that your teammate, he need that goal. And have the confidence, take that penalty, because Bruno will net definitely sure. But also he has the confidence in Ressi. He's a very good penalty taker. Take that ball, take your confidence. And as a team you need that. You need such leadership, and that you back each other, you cover each other, and you give each other confidence, because you know you need it to get a successful season.
And how much does this do, this win for this week that you got coming up? It's such a big week for you.
Absolutely, but we have to go step by step, and this is all one step, so get ready for the next.
Thank you so much for your time, Erik.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they spoke there of a really tough week for Manchester United. They've got Galatasaray in the heat of Istanbul, of course, and they've got it all to do in the Champions League group phase if they're to try and qualify to the knockout round. But then they've got Newcastle away. That's at St James's Park. So 3 tough away games. The first negotiated pretty well in the end.
Yeah, I thought they didn't create a ton of moments in the game, but they were efficient, they were clinical. And obviously, we've said before, goal scoring is an issue for this United team.
Yeah.
And they need to tidy it up. Defensively, they're pretty sound, and they look 10 times better when Luke Shaw was playing, by the way. He was exceptional today. Onana was good. Seems like there was a partnership there with Maguire and Lindelof. thought Dallo played great. So, but goal scoring, that's the one they need to fix. And it's going to be a huge week. Galatasaray away, that is, I mean, it doesn't get much harder than that.
It doesn't get much more hostile either.
No, it's tough. And
actually, if they sample that kind of atmosphere, albeit for 2.5 minutes, I suppose it's the perfect warm-up for something quite like that, although it's on another scale altogether.
Yeah, but look, they have players that can rise to the occasion in big moments, and obviously someone's going to have to do it. Garnacho did it today. Bruno Fernandes did it today. Let's see who can do it in Istanbul.
Interestingly, because of Garnacho's goal and the nature of it, it takes I suppose, the attention away from the debut from 18-year-old or the first Premier League debut for Kobbie Mainoo. I have to say, he didn't look like an 18-year-old out there.
Very mature performance. I thought he picked the right options at the right time. I talk about self-indulgence. He wasn't out there to try and prove to everyone that he's a superstar. He just does what he's good at. You know, he gets turned on the ball. He looks very comfortable. Look at him there, just reading reaction. But it's not only just the clearance. He has to lift that to get it over the striker. Then he changes pace and he gets a block in. Willing to put his body on the line for the shirt. Look, gets turned, wants to play progressively forward, picks the right pass at the right time. I think he was excellent, Owen. Yeah,
I thought he was. I'll be honest. I thought he was Man United's best player. And the thing is, every clip's different. You know, this is good. You know, receiving it. A lot of young kids in there, 18, they wouldn't have the composure. Tim's right. Pick the right pass at the right time. That's one of the things you need when you're a young kid breaking through. And he's got some confidence as well. How about this little touch here? Oh, little nutmeg. Yeah. See you later. You know, the kid has. I like that every clip's different. He can do everything that you need to. Yeah. And even here, you know, you got the back four in place. Lindelof gets dragged out. What does he know? I got to drop in there. That space is free. I got to drop in there. You know, there's a lot of more experienced players that wouldn't even do that in that moment. And that's why having responsibility in the moment, he looks like he has an awareness to him for an 18-year-old that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, a telltale sign is how you perceived and treated by the rest of your teammates. I mean, when he's come off the pitch there for, 58 minutes? He had the most touches from any player of Man United on the pitch, or anyone on the pitch. So he was involved all the time, and they want to give him the ball. They trust him. See Onana rolling the ball out to him on the edge of the box. You don't do that if you don't trust the individual. He's seen him in training and he knows he's a real deal. Yeah. He needs to continue playing. But what happened is what's happened before. I hope it doesn't. Casemiro gets back fit. He throws him straight into the team. He leaves this boy on the sideline again. Cannot do that. Don't pick the superstars because they're superstars. Pick them because they are on merit. This boy deserves the opportunity.
One of many positives then, as far as Manchester United and Erik ten Hag are concerned. After the break on Matchday Live.
You know, a great performance. How are you feeling?
Oh, great feeling. Obviously, great to win today. Tough place to come, tough team to play against, but we had this great win, and obviously now we have to look forward because we have important games coming ahead. So it's about getting the focus back because this game is gone already.
As you mentioned there, it's a tough environment to come into there, but what was that feeling around the squad? You know, you were there for each other and it shows that there was bodies on the lines for each other today.
Oh, of course, you know, it's being always like that, but obviously when you don't get the results, you don't see it as much as you want. But I think since the beginning of the season, it's being like that. Obviously, we had moments where we could have been better, but we didn't. But I think being there for each other wasn't a problem, you know. I think every time we've been there, but obviously when the results are not there, it's normal that you can find little problems and focus on some problems that sometimes are not problems.
The goals were terrific as well. You were involved obviously with those great through balls there. I mean, what was that feeling like when you seen some of those goals go in?
No, amazing. Obviously, the first one from Garnacho was amazing. You know, like great goal. Something unbelievable from a special player. The second goal was the penalty. Really well done from Marcus, and the third one really well played from everyone, and a great finish from Anthony.
And there was a great performance from our young players as well. You know, as captain, it must be nice to see the young players coming through, and you must be delighted to obviously help them with it.
Obviously, I think every of the young players that played today, I think we have a pretty young squad still, but I think Kobbie did amazing today. Gardner, obviously, with an amazing goal. Not less important, Pellistri and Hannibal, the boost that they give to the team and the energy at the end of the game was unbelievable. And this is what we expect from them. Obviously, we have big expectations because they play for Man United. So if the club trusts them and think they can be a big player in the future, is that why they are here at the moment? And us as a senior players, or the way you want to call it, we trust in them and we believe that they can be great things for us.
And finally, we've got some big games coming up now. It's great to obviously, with this performance today, to bring that into the next few.
No, obviously a great game now. We know how important it is to go to Galatasaray away. Great team, plays great football, really strong. We know the environment will be even tough out there, so we have to be prepared for that because we need the 3 points. We know that is our end line probably, so we need to do the best we can to get to the final stage, to the final game against Bayern with a chance to go through.
OK, let's get some more reaction on the fallout of Manchester United's 3-0 win away to Everton. Delighted to say pitch side at Goodison. Fullback Diogo Dolo joins us now. Diogo, great to see you. Many congratulations on the victory. Biggest away league win for United for over 2 years.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I think the performance shows the good level that we showed today. We knew coming to this ground is always tough, always physical, and I think we showed that we could do a little bit of both, being aggressive, winning duels, defending the box, defending the goal, and then play football. I think we could do both, and we showed today that we could do a good performance.
And how does it feel to deliver the assist to arguably the best goal of the season so far?
I mean, of the season and probably of many seasons. I told in the dressing room, I'm just watching now on the TV. Live, I didn't see a goal like this ever in my career so far. I mean, you could see a lot of good goals in the television when you were a kid, but this was probably one of the best that I've seen. It's unbelievable how the way they finish is, and it was a top goal and good to be a part of it.
We've been debating here in the studio how it rates alongside Wayne Rooney's overhead kick. You know which one I'm talking about against Manchester City in the derby.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's probably one of the best goals that for me, my personal opinion, that I like the most since in the history of Man United. So it will compete with this one, and I'll leave Garnacho's one just because I was on the pitch.
There's no surprises there. I mean, does he do that kind of thing in training?
Yeah, to be honest, yesterday we were training, or they were training the forwards with Benny McCarthy, and he was complaining about Garnacho. He doesn't head the ball. Back post, you never head the ball. You just want to do bicycle kicks. And today he showed him that he can do it, and it was fantastic for him.
How good can he be, do you think?
I mean, if he keeps his head and feet on the ground, I think he can be decisive for this club. He has a great talent. We will be here to make sure that he doesn't go over the moon with this goal. But he's a hard-working kid, very talented, and you need this type of players in this team. So can they can solve games, they can solve can give you trophies, and this is the type of players and that we need sometimes.
Yeah, well, the whole team played obviously really well. Luke Shaw that looked great since he came back. I thought Kobe Manu was fantastic in that midfield, but it looked like you and Marcus Rashford had a nice partnership kind of on that right-hand side. It looks like Marcus gives the team good balance when he plays on the right, because obviously you guys have a good understanding, it looks like, when you play together. Yeah,
to be honest, I have to give credit to Rashi. He did a hell of a job today. I mean, it's I know sometimes for a winger you don't like to defend fullbacks, you don't like to track back, you just want to go forward, but he shows that he's a complete player, and today the goal is just a little reward of the work that he's been doing. Sometimes when forwards don't score goals, the expectation starts to get really high, the pressure starts to get really high, but he does a lot of things that probably people don't see going forward. I just give him credit today because he showed that he can do both and sacrifice sometimes for the team, and there is times that means a little bit more than just scoring goals.
Diego, they got two threats on both flanks. If you was defending one of them, which one would you like to defend, Garnacho or Rashford?
I mean, in training I get the opportunity to defend a lot. To be honest, I think Rashi is a little bit more power than Garner, but Garner is a little bit more unpredictable. So I would prefer to have them on my team.
Yeah, you got him.
And just finally from us, I mean, that's the perfect result at the start of what is a huge week for the football club, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this sounds a little bit cliche, but every game for this club is like the game of the season. Everybody is expecting the best from us. And when you don't get the results, the pressure will get higher and higher and higher. I mean, Hargreaves played here. He knows that better than anyone, that this is the type of standard that the club has. So we just have to keep believing that the results will come, and then the results will give us confidence to play better football. And I know it's coming. I like to believe that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So hopefully this consistency can improve, and the results will get there, and the football as well.
Well, good luck with the rest of the week, and well done today, Diogo.
Thank you very much, mate.
Good luck.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Diogo Dalot joining us live from Goodison Park. I mean, that's interesting, that partnership between him and Marcus Rashford. It could well have given Erik ten Hag something to think about.
No, I think credit to him, by the way. What a great talker.
Brilliant.
You know, brilliant. Really, really says all the right things. And even speaking about, he knows Marcus probably didn't want to track back, but it helped him do his job a little bit easier. He knows about the history of the club. He knows that they can play better. So, and that's what it needs. It needs everybody to be accountable for their position. Luke Shaw's in there, Harry Maguire's in there, Onana's playing better. You know, it just feels like it's starting to come together, and they're going to start playing better. They're not playing that great, but they're finding a way to get results. And I think obviously you get you get Martinez back, you get Casemiro back, you get Højlund back. You know, figure out what happens with the whole Sancho situation. There's a lot of good pieces of the puzzle for United, and I think they're going to start playing better. And I really loved his interview. I think he spoke brilliantly.
Sean, watching you in the technical area, how much went against you and your team today?
Well, I think a lot of the performance was right. I think particularly first half, they get more or less a career goal. Great finish, changed the feel of the early part of the game, and then we got a grip of it. Created chances, couldn't take them. Chance counts high again today, which is pleasing, but obviously, you know, for a side that people are saying they're not playing well, they're the top of the form guide, so we know we had to be aware of that. And they get a win out of, strangely, a pretty decent performance from our point of view, I feel.
The penalty did seem to change things around. As you say, you responded well after the first goal. The encouraging signs were there. But you couldn't help but notice how you reacted to it, albeit Ashley Young did put his foot out.
Oh, it's bizarre. There's no point. I feel for fans. They run up to that screen. What do you think is going to happen? We all know what's going to happen. So I don't see the point of it. It's bizarre to me. Just go on and give the decision if they think it's a decision. The way the game's going, they give them. I mean, that's bizarre to me. You know, he's never going to get it. He knows what he's doing. Players do. But that's the way it goes. And, you know, it's one of them things. I mean, the VAR thing this year, and I'm a big fan, it's been all over the place. I can't work out why it's the simplest thing, you know. But it just seems to be mayhem all the time.
Did you feel that was a turning point, though? It just seemed to change the whole atmosphere inside the ground. I know there's that siege mentality that we spoke about before the match, but it seems it just took that away.
Yeah, but that's the way it goes. You know, you're 2-0 down all of a sudden, you know, out of a nothing moment. One that you think's gone for you, don't forget, as a crowd. You know, because he books the lad for diving and then comes back and looks at it for 3 minutes to make a decision. Look, it's not just about that, but that doesn't help, of course. You know, you're 1-0 down to a worldie, you haven't taken your chances, they get a penalty, and it's 2-0. It's really tough then. The mentality was good. We kept knocking on the door, we kept trying to create chances, we kept trying to score goals, so I'm really pleased with the mentality after what's been a really tough 10 days, of course. Is
it just about finishing those chances? Because if you'd been more clinical in front of goal, the scoreline could well have been completely different.
Yeah, at home more than away, that's been the case this season. We've created lots of chances, not scored goals, but we have to maintain the belief in what we're doing. I think we are doing that. I think the players did throughout this game. You know, kept playing hard to the final whistle, because that mentality is going to serve us well over the season.
You talk about the mentality. Is it just about remaining calm, remaining confident despite everything that you're competing against at the moment?
Well, of course, because at the end of the day, you know, 10 points taken away from anyone in the season, this early in the season, changes the whole view of it. But we've got to stick with our performance level, stick with our belief in what we do on the training pitch and in the games, until the appeal process goes through. Until that time, we have to just maintain standards, we have to keep working, and we have to push away all the noise, because there will be plenty of it, not just from our parts, but from everyone in football. I think everyone's scratching their head about what it's all amounted to, but we've got to get on with it.
Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sean Dyche will face every challenge head on. He's not going to shirk anything like that. And you can almost get that from the tone of his voice. The next 6 Premier League fixtures look like that. The Forest game, I mean, that looks huge now. That's away. Newcastle at home, Chelsea, Burnley, Tottenham and Manchester City. The Burnley one, considering they're the only team below Everton in the table right now. Now, I asked both of you if you were worried for Everton at the start of the day, before we saw Everton today. And you said not. Have you changed your view on that now, Tim?
No, over the period of the season, I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to need to pick up some points, and it has brought them back to the field, obviously. You know, they're in the danger zone at the moment. They're going to need to win at least 2 of them games. They look like tough games. Nottingham Forest, you say, and Burnley. You know, Forest, precarious. They're dropping in there as well. Bournemouth, I think, is another team who could get dragged in. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone else to drag in. They got a small division of. They've got to go up against 6 teams, and they got to make sure that they get above 3 of them. That's what they got to do. That's the same objective that they had at the beginning of the season. Forget what's gone on. It's the same objective. That's what they got to do. Clear their minds. Don't feel sorry for yourselves. Go out there and win enough points to stay in the division. I still think they've got the quality. They've got the squad of players to be able to do that. This is a hiccup today. I thought their performances today wasn't bad. Certainly in the first half, I thought they created enough chances to be going ahead of Man United today.
Yeah.
It was, like he said, it was a career goal.
To put that in perspective, actually, today, Everton had 24 shots to United's 9.
Yeah.
So was it just the clinical edge that was missing for them then?
Yeah, and one thing I would say is they have probably the best goalkeeper down in those bottom 5 teams. They've probably got, you know, the best striker. They've got the most talented midfield players in there. You know, in terms of every position, they got better players in their position, and they created it. You think about McNeil on one side, you know, Harrison on the other. Ducour's a handful in the games there. Often these moments, they can go your way, they fall your way. But Tim mentioned before, they got bodies in the box. You know, get crosses in for Calvert-Lewin. But they're a threat. You know, when they play like this, more often than not, they're going to win games. I think possession-wise, it was almost 50-50. This one, Gate, he's got to score. He's leaning back. I think that's quite an easy one. But I think overall, I think Sean be right.
Yeah.
They played pretty well today. It wasn't really a 3-0 game. It was a worldie from Garnacho, a penalty, and then one on the counter-attack from Anthony Martial. So I thought they played all right. But the problem is there's a little gap now created from where they are and just above them. But the one thing I think in his favour, they have a clear identity, and they've probably got the most talented group of players down in that bottom 5. And I think eventually they will be all right.
And the best fans.
Yeah, true.
Home advantage is going to be crucial for them. And they've got a manager who's been there and done it and seen it and knows what it takes to keep a team in the division, and he will keep them calm. They'll dust themselves down. They'll be ready to go in the next game.
Yeah. You talk about home advantage. They've lost 11 of 18 in 2023 at Goodison Park. How much of a concern is that, if that is to be the bedrock of any team to stay up?
The thing is, over recent years, they've needed to win points really late on in the season, last month.
Well, last day of the season.
And it's happened at Goodison because it's almost desperation. Some of the scenes, what we've seen when they've stayed up, is almost embarrassing for the size of a club like Everton, but it's the desperation and it's the relief of actually staying in the division. No one wants to leave this division. It's difficult to come back. And I think the crowd realised that. And I think they realise that early now, especially with the points deduction. And I think they will get behind them earlier than what they usually do. It's going to be a fight right to the end. They know that. It's not going to be plain sailing. I mentioned at the top of the show that it might have got a little bit comfortable for them. Not anymore. They've been dragged back to the group. They're in the danger zone at the moment. But I believe, like Owen said, they've got the quality, they've got the manager, they've got the experience to get themselves out of it. Because on paper, against them, I know games are not won on paper, but against them other teams who are down there, they've got far more quality.
Talking of fight, do they have the right kind of fighter in Sean Dyche to see them through this?
Oh, definitely.
Is he the right kind of guy?
Oh, he's the perfect guy.
Yeah.
You know, he'll kind of create that siege mentality. And I think as well, you know, you mentioned normally at home you'd expect them to be better, especially at Goodison. But actually, I think when they have to make the game, it doesn't really suit them. Even today, possession-wise, that was almost 50-50. That's not their strength. They're better off playing against, you know, having 25% possession, 30% possession, and breaking beyond the counter. So I think in those next 6 games, they won't have much of the ball like they did today. But they just need to be a little bit more efficient, effective in front of goal, and I think they'll be fine. Yeah.
It's just a question of not letting that deflate them too much today, right?
No, I think he's experienced enough to realise that. He's been at Burnley, he's fought, you know, right down at the bottom of the division late on in the season many times, and he knows if you take defeat too hard, you take it into the next game, that's no good to anyone. You need to dust yourself down, you need to start afresh and hopefully win as many games as you possibly can. Draws don't take, when you're adrift like they are now, draws take you nowhere. It's better than a loss, of course it is. But you go out, you identify the games what you can actually win, and there is games what you look. I've been there myself. You look at the games coming up and you think, well, that could be 3 points. We might play a little tweak there, a little different, more attacking in that game, and then more defensive in another one. So you have to pan your way through it. But I think, yeah, I believe they've got the quality to stay in the division.
OK, well, let's get some more reaction now, shall we, after Everton's defeat to Manchester United. Let's hear from their club captain, James Tarkowski.
James, that's a pretty frustrating afternoon for you.
Yeah, it is. I think there's positive to take. Especially first half, I played really, really well. They've scored one of the best goals I've ever seen, especially when I've been on the pitch. And then we dominated, pressed really well, turned the team who want to play football into kicking it long and taking it off and then going attacking again. And we had 4 or 5 great chances and just didn't put it in the back of the net. And then second half, penalty, just kills the game. And I haven't seen it back. It felt soft at the time, but here we go again. Something goes against us. So we just get back into the training ground, ready to go again.
It does feel like you're against everybody at the moment.
It does feel like that, yeah, but that's how we're going to take it. So either with us or against us. So back in tomorrow, ready to go again and build for the weekend ahead.
What signs of encouragement? Because after going behind so early on, and as you say, it was an absolutely worldie of a goal. You had chances. It's just that finishing, that lacking that clinical touch.
Yeah, and we have been very clinical, especially over the last few weeks. We've scored a lot of goals, so it's one of them days. But performance levels and intensity and mentality were all there for us, so there's plenty of pleasing aspects. Obviously, we want results as the most important thing, but there is positive to take, and I say we just get back in tomorrow and ready to go.
You know, he talked about the need to fight and not to get too dispirited. And if you put into context the fact that they won 4 of the last 7 in the Premier League, they have to look on the positive side that form is just round the corner before today. And if it wasn't already on the board, they would be in a very much more difficult position right now. I
thought he spoke well, Tarkowski. I thought he kind of analysed the game really well. You know, they had some great chances in the first half to score. Yeah. So I think there were a lot of positives to take out. Sometimes when you play a game, you think we lost 3-0, we were dreadful.
Because do you think that flattered United in the end?
Tiny bit, but the goals just came at the right time, you know, and I think they were quite efficient. I think for Everton, that's one thing they were. They weren't efficient in front of goals. So I think when they get those chances again, I think they'll take them and they'll be in a better position.
Tim, and as we approach the festive fixture schedule, which, as we know, is always kind of non-stop, is that a good thing for Everton?
It's a good thing.
Have game after game?
I'll tell you why it's a good thing, because they've hardly picked up any injuries. You know, they haven't picked up any today as well. I think that a lot of teams you see around this time, you've seen depleted squads all over the Premier League. Not with them. They've kept themselves fit. So they're going to need everything they've got. You know, everyone's going to have to play a part. And I think if you can get a win, you need to get the first one straight away, and that gives you the confidence to bounce into the next one. The games come thick and fast. You know, all of a sudden there's like 12 points to play for. You need to have taken 6. You know, if you're in that position, you can, you know, by the end of by New Year, and you could be out of the danger zone if the results go for you. You got to watch other people's results when you're down there. You always do. Yeah. You don't listen to managers who say we take care of ourselves. Listen, they're looking at Luton, they're looking at Burnley.
They will be looking at the others, right?
Absolutely, you're looking at them. You live their games. That's what you do. As a manager, yes, you take care of your own. You try and pick up as many points as you can, but then you go home and you lose as much weight. I could do with doing it now. Watching the opposition, you know, the nerves, you're on edge because you want the opposition to lose, and it saves you a job. But it's going to go right to the wire. But it's really exciting. All ends of this division is brilliant.
Football anywhere in the world. Old Trafford in Manchester. I'm Derek Ray. I'm joined for commentary by former Arsenal fullback Lee Dixon. And it's all about action from the Premier League in this case. It is Manchester United facing Everton.
Hi Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important it is to start off the game really quickly. Really attack the opposition, put them on the back foot, see what comes of that. Hopefully we get a good game.
Excellent defending. Well, Manchester United have chosen this particular shape. Victor Lindelöf plays alongside Harry Maguire in central defence. And the striker today, Edinson Cavani. Ball played nicely. And options in the centre. Interception to snuff out the danger. And crossed in there. He's that chance so early in the game.
Well, the first chance of a game's important, but the first goal, sometimes it comes, you're not expecting it.
Well, he needed to read it to get there, and did. Doucouré. And here's Alan. And he's got the beating of his opponent. Can he put them in front? And they remain level.
Well, he found himself in a great position, but he couldn't find the finish.
Marcus Rashford. Bruno Fernandes. And a throw-in it's going to be. Cavani. Wonderfully weighted pass. This looks threatening. And a goal here, Cavani! First goal of the contest.
Well, here it is again, and all the credit goes to the goal scorer. But you have to ask questions about the keeper. He's got to have that covered for me. No wonder he's frustrated with himself.
So the match has restarted, 1-0 here.
Number 7, Edinson Cavani.
Disappointing pass. Rashford. Tremendous ball played through. Well, it might still work out for them.